Jake, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Man, I cannot complain, man. Cannot complain.
Recording in progress.
Oh, I think I got two of you on here.
Yeah, no, one second.
You said what? Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to delete.
Okay. There we go. I can't hear you now. Yeah, there you go. You're
Yeah,
unmuted.
I think we're in business now, brother.
Cool, man. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah, I'm working on it, man. It updated. I don't usually use Zoom on my laptop, so
All right. Oh, it's
Oh,
all good.
there we
There
go.
he is, the man, the myth, the legend. There he is.
What's up, brother?
Another day. How we feeling?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How about yourself?
I have zero complaints. Out here in the Midwest, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. It's like 90 degrees, so it's a little humid, but I'll take it over cold any day, man.
Dude, I'm outside of Atlanta right now, so I know the feeling.
Atlanta, man. Every time I hear the word Atlanta, it makes me think of the airport, man. That thing gives me anxiety.
Dude, tell me about it. It's only getting worse and worse and worse. So
I used to want, when I was younger, I used to want to live there. My brother moved down to Georgia, and then after I visited a couple times, like, nah, it's too many people.
dude, I'm trying to get out of here, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where are you trying to move to?
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, I almost took a job in DC about 6 or 7 years ago. I have some family in North Carolina and Florida, but my wife has a smaller family, and they're kind of all in Georgia right now. So it's kind of like I don't know if we're both on board with that yet. So
Yeah, Florida might not be bad 'cause that's not too far from Georgia.
right, yeah,
That
yeah.
might not be bad at all. That's where we usually take a lot of family vacations. We're scattered throughout Florida when we go, so it's one of our stomping grounds.
Of course, man. You got to go there at least once a year.
Right. So, man, tell me a little about yourself. What are we currently doing right now?
So I've been in warehousing for the past 16, 17 years. Graduated high school, really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. My old man was an electrician, so I said, hey, you know what? Maybe I should try the whole electrical thing. Did it for like 8 months and realized really quickly it was not for me. So quit the job without having anything lined up. Again, teenager, man. I was thinking it was 18 or 19 at the time. Just couldn't figure things out. But I got married at 19. So had a wife. We were living with my family. I'm like, man, I want to get out the house. I got to find a consistent job. So I knew a guy who was the assistant manager of a parts warehouse, big truck parts. He got me a job, and I just essentially never left, man. So started out just driving a forklift, order picking, things of that nature. But I'm a very ambitious guy, and the job offered a lot of security, so I stuck with it. But I wanted to continually move up the ladder. So over the years, I became a shipping supervisor, departmental lead, supervisor, and then warehouse manager. And I've been in warehouse management ever since. So I've been managing people for probably a decade. Groups as small as 5 or 6, and now I'm at about 30 directs. So that's just kind of been my world. In between all of that, been in fitness for a long time. I got my first personal trainer certification back in 2012 with ISSA, and more recently I've added on an Onnit certification in addition to a Living Fit certification. So it's just been my passion outside of the 9 to 5, and I've coached clients here or there throughout. Never really went all in on that, but I've just realized since 2020 that started asking myself the hard questions of what I really wanted to do with my life that would bring a lot of fulfillment and purpose and mission. And I just knew that coaching other people and helping transform lives was it. So since 2020, it's been a small strategic planning session on exactly honing in on what I want to do and how I want to go about it, and acquiring the skills and knowledge and information to be able to do that. Now, not until this year did I really take a leap. Beginning of this year, I got my first LLC. I added a DBA onto that because I kind of wanted to have some delineation between the fitness side and more or less the mindset side, right? Because I really enjoy both, but I would say that my passion is fitness, but my purpose is more or less life coaching, mindset coaching. There's a difference there, but you both are kind of, go hand in hand. Since January, I have, like I said, I got the LLC, I got the DBA, got logos, got social media, pretty much up and running for everything. I put together a janky website that does the trick. But since I've been really focusing more on the life coaching, the mindset coaching type of stuff, I've learned that if you understand how to use landing pages to your advantage, that you could actually just use landing pages instead of actually having a website in your own domain. So more recently, I've been using ConvertKit, which is a series of landing pages. You can do marketing, email subscription, you can sell products on there. And I've been really dialing in on that and figuring out the ins and outs of how to use it. And I'm able to build course curriculums through it. So I've been using that a lot. And the biggest thing right now that I'm having to learn is generating leads, making the sales, closing the sales, and all of that. So that is really my pinch point, my gap is learning how to generate those sales and then close those sales. Up until this point, I've run some ads through Instagram, and through trial and error, I'm starting to figure out what copies work and what doesn't, what market works, what demographic works and what doesn't. I'm trying to hone in on my niche a lot more. And I feel like I'm getting better at it, but I'm also I've thrown probably up until this point, maybe $600-700 in ads. And so far I got 2 consistent clients and about 3 maybes.
Okay. And this is since January, correct?
The advertising, I really didn't start till March. March, I really went all in on like learning how to write copy and advertise and building my own personal brand. I've done all the personal brand stuff myself. I did hire a company to produce organic followers, but they didn't get me the first follower. I learned what they did and started doing it myself, and I've quadrupled my Instagram in just 60 days.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's still not where I want it to be, but I would say 60 days going from 200 to 800 is not bad.
No, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that you're fully invested in your vision. I love the fact that you had said that fitness and mindset. So me and my wife kind of do a similar thing. Like she's like a life coach, and then I'm a speed and agility specialist, a master level trainer. So we have 2 different tiers, like, right? Like they get the ugly guy like me to do their programming and hold them accountable, and they get the smoke show kind of talking about their feelings and organization, where they're struggling at. So she's more that excited. It works out really well. I love that. So it sounds like you got quite a bit of things that you've tried, that you've invested in. So a lot of pieces to the puzzle. We just need to figure out how to make this bad boy actually fit and be more efficient with our time. Is that correct?
I would say that's correct. Yeah.
Cool. And you had mentioned the biggest bottleneck right now is just generating consistent leads, closing those down, and then retaining those people for long periods of time. Correct?
I would say so. Yeah. Sales is never, I mean, I don't want to say that it's not me. I've just never really tried it. I mean, I've been offered different sales positions for the different companies I work with, and it's just something I've never really been interested in. But now that, I'm trying to fulfill my dreams and really live life on purpose, I know that that's going to come with it. Right. And so I'm really green when it comes to that. So I'm still learning, how to have those conversations, how to use psychology and all that type of stuff, and getting people connected, getting people immersed into the conversation and closing those sales. So
love that. So if this is something that you decide to move forward with, which we'll talk about here in the presentation, you'll be introduced to a sales coach as well, which no other program offers all this encompassing services with a sales coach. And that's no additional charge. This is someone to kind of help lock down those leads, get a larger return of investment, and close those leads down at a 40% clip or greater. So again, maximizing our time and our consistency. As far as, I know that you mentioned like you want to fulfill purpose, you really want to start living towards your passions. Are we looking to eventually make this like your full-time career, or is this going to be secondary source of income? What does this look like for you?
Oh, full time, 100%, man.
I love it.
I just want to be very, very smart about it. At the beginning of this year, I just kind of crunched financials and just, had all the motions going, man. And I'm like, man, should I just take the leap? And the more I thought about it and was really strategic about it, I just realized that that's just not the smart thing to do. So right now it's all about like part-time side hustle. And then when it makes sense, make that leap into something full-time.
Yeah, in order for this to make that leap to full-time, what do you need to be making to replace your current income?
Mm, well, currently it'd be around 75 a year. But my goal is to get very aggressive with my personal finances and try to live on less, pay down some debt to where if I made a leap, it could be at a lower annual salary.
Makes sense. Now, let me give you some industry averages. So online training on the very low end, 250 per client a month. On the upper end, 500 bucks. So let's just say you're feeling really confident. You got multiple certification, which is awesome. Let's just say bare minimum you're charging 400 bucks on that upper end, right? If you had 25 clients, that gives you 10K a month right there. It's 120K a year, right? Making a lot, like a big impact for yourself as well as for others. Now on the other end, if you're hitting, 20 clients, that's 8K a month. We're at 96,000 a year. So still really good average. Now let me give you this context. Right now, our average student, not the top notch, not the bottom of the barrel, just your average individual is making anywhere between 6,500 to 8K per month. So just the bare basic, just doing minimal effort, right? You've already shared quite a bit with me on how much you've been dialing in with yourself and you spent additional time trying to figure these things out. Could you imagine someone like you that has this type of level of ambition that's already invested in themselves, what they could do with like the proper guidance? I mean, do you find yourself as an average individual?
Oh, no, not at all.
I wouldn't think so, man. Cool. Now that you know the industry averages, where would you like to see yourself making best case scenario?
Uh, Man, to be honest with you, the funny thing is I've never really thought about that because I just want to, I know this is small-minded thinking, believe me, I know, but I've never really thought in terms of like how much money I would want to make in a year. It's all been about doing something fulfilling with my life and something I enjoy. Now, obviously, hitting six figures would be amazing, right? Because I never thought that it's so funny, like out of high school, I thought, man, if I just made 40K a year, it'd be awesome. And then you actually start making that, and it's like, wow, this is not that much. Yeah. So, me and my wife live comfortably. I mean, things can be tight sometimes, but we live fairly comfortably considering. But yeah, making six figures would be dope.
That's awesome, man. What does the wife do for a living?
My wife, oh, she works for a customs brokerage. So she clears things from overseas and she does both imports and exports. So very high stress job, man. But she just crushes it, man. She does pretty well.
That's awesome. Now, is your wife aware of like your ambitions, your goals, what you're really trying to do long term?
100%. Yeah. So she is the one person that obviously sees everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've had those hard conversations with her. And, obviously I got to have that work-life balance. So how much time can I steal from the day to work, my day job, then work on the side hustle, and obviously have some quality time with her. And we're getting into a pretty good rhythm, and no complaints as of yet, but obviously she's on board with everything.
I love that. Did you tell her that you had a call today to kind of go over some strategy?
Yes.
Awesome, man. So give you some context on time. If you can dictate anywhere between 10 to 20 hours per week, you're in a solid spot. If you can dictate anything over 20 hours per week, you're in a dangerously great spot. Okay. And that always can adjust based upon, obviously the goal is we're not telling you to just quit your job, but the goal is kind of like a scale, right? So we're here, your full-time job is over here. Eventually this is our goal, right? To start slowly reducing hours. As you start getting more and more clients, you're making more and more money. We can start, transition out from our full-time job and move more into that coaching realm. So do you feel like 10 to 20 hours is realistic for you?
I'm doing that now, man.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so that's so I've just, one of the things that I'm all about is like having daily non-negotiables. And one of the things I transitioned to probably about 2 months ago is I don't hit the snooze anymore, and I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning regardless of the day. That's Saturdays and Sundays as well, because if I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and Sunday, my wife's going to sleep at least till 8 or 9. So that gives me 4 hours of time to work on creating landing pages, doing stuff on social media, creating custom workout plans through Train Heroic. Like I have time to work on stuff. So
Dude, I love that. You're all about maximizing your day. And then that also allows you, once she wakes up, to be able to have a little balance with her, spend some time with her, and make her a priority now. I love that. It's awesome.
100%. Yeah.
Now, where would you like to see yourself different than where you're currently at the next 4 to 6 months?
Where would I like to see myself differently in the next 4 to 6 months?
Yep.
Man, I would just like to I'd like to be in it, dude. Like I'd like to have consistent clients. I'd like to have everything flowing, have a really good system, and making a little bit of money.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, with that type of earning income, right? Let's just say you're successful, you're hitting 8 to 10K a month on a regular basis. What do you feel like that would provide you and your wife?
I don't know. So the biggest thing for me would just be sovereignty. Having more freedom, more optionality. I think that is one of the more fulfilling things that I'm striving towards, is just having more sovereignty with my life and freedom of schedule, freedom of what I do. And for instance, if I wanted to go work out at this certain time of day, I could. If I wanted to go, meet with this person, I could. I just having that freedom, right? Overall, freedom financially, freedom of schedule, free to be able to work when I want to work. That something like that means a lot to me. So.
Now, I know that you've done extremely well for yourself where you're currently at within, warehouse management. How much of a stress is that on your life, and how is that dictating or pulling you away from your current ambitions and goals?
Man, it's cake, bro. I've been doing this for a while, and this is arguably the best team I've ever managed, and so much so that me and the other managers could be away from the building and everything will still operate just fine. So stress wise, not that much.
Cool. I love it, man. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go over like a high level on what we have to offer. And then we're going to actually deep dive into the actual modules so you can see step by step exactly what is going to be in that course. Okay. Now, before I move into that, what do you feel like you need from like a business coach or a mentor to feel successful?
Good question. I think for me, definitely one-on-ones, accountability, just overall knowledge and experience, just guidance overall, really.
100%. So if you feel like you had a proven system and resources that we implement with someone who's been through that exact same course and through our mastery level, so they have a step-by-step process, do you feel like that would be beneficial for you, like a complete game plan laid out for you?
Cool. Yeah, sure, for sure.
Cool, man. All right, let me know when you can see my screen. I'm going to share this with you.
Okay, we're good.
Awesome. So as you know, we're the Next Level Coaching Academy. This is kind of a big deal. We're actually accredited through the Better Business Bureau. We got a rating of an A out of a possible A+, which kind of sets the tone for if we're legitimate or not in the online space. We're also backed by 3 of the largest certification companies in the world, ACE, NASM, and ISSA. So if you had one of those current certifications, this would be continuing education credits, which is awesome. On the success ladder, we've got 2 tiers. We've got 10K Accelerator, we've got Mastery Level Coach. Now, 10K Accelerator is great for an individual such as yourself, someone who has some certifications, truly is passionate about health and fitness, but more importantly, wants to impact more people's lives. The information in this course can get us from 0 up to 10K per month in as little as 4 months is so desired. Now, mastery levels for individuals who have been coaching for quite some time, they're hitting 10K a month on a regular basis, but their focal point is to eventually get to 100K per month, kind of step away from the coaching aspect and become more of a CEO of their own program. So as of right now, we're going to focus on 10K Accelerator, but I could totally see you moving up to this mastery level in the next 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
Now, the 10K Accelerator program is really broken down into 4 phases. The first thing we want to get you to do, we want to get you your first couple clients right out the gate. We can't establish ourselves as a solid business without consistent paying clients. All right. So once we do that, we'll establish a solid business foundation. We're going to help you generate leads organically utilizing AI technology. We're also going to help you develop sales and retention strategies to help you reach, sustain, and surpass 10K per month. Now, on the support side of things, you're going to have an assigned one-on-one coach. So you mentioned you really want one-on-ones. This is an individual who's completed both 10K and mastery level. So they have a 6 or 7 figure business of their own based off the information in our course. We'll have a customized game planning call with that individual to really review the most efficient way to get you towards your goals. And then every 2 weeks, you'll have private coaching calls on Zoom, very similar to this, revisit the game plan, make changes, receive feedback, and then you'll get very specific instructions on what you need to execute for the upcoming weeks. Now, you mentioned that sales is kind of a gear bottleneck. You're actually going to be introduced to a one-on-one sales coach. This individual will help you maximize your return of investment, help you close down those leads significantly easier. 5 times a week of group support calls that accommodate a 9 to 5. So this will go over client objection handling, client delivery, marketing, lead generation, mindset issues, you name it, we deep dive into it. You also have 24/5 tech support. So outside of those game planning calls and those one-on-ones, you can text your coach as much as you'd like. They're contractually obligated to answer all of your questions. Now, as you know, becoming entrepreneurs, it's exciting, it's dope, it's fun, but it's also overwhelming at times. So we've created what we call the Zenpreneur method. We help with weekly mindset calls. We do breath work and meditation sessions, even journaling, just to ensure that throughout the whole entire way, you're in a good headspace to move forward. As far as the resources go, you'll have the course curriculum, you'll have the Zenpreneur method we just got done discussing. We'll even give you optional outsourcing options when you're ready to make specific enhancements to your program. We do offer an optional certification for those that don't feel qualified at no additional cost. Now, the secret sauce to get you from 0 to 10K, 4 phases. Act first, what's that mean? We're going to launch our business. We're going to let people know. We're going to announce people to the world what we are, what we're about. And we're going to utilize very specific strategies to get you your first couple clients right away. Once we do that, we'll set up all your backend administration systems. We'll make sure that you're a legal business. And then we're also going to kind of identify what problems we solve for individuals. Based upon that, we'll then create our offer and pricing. So this first 2 phases will be done within the first month to month and a half. The remaining of time will be in phase 3 and phase 4. So phase 3, developing consistency. We're going to teach you organic marketing strategies utilizing AI technology. We'll also teach you how to generate leads with NLCA's community lead generation method, which we use WhatsApp for. And then we also will teach you basic sales funnel creations to close down deals more efficiently. Phase 4 is like the fine tuning of everything. We're going to maximize your sales capabilities. We're going to make sure you're locking down leads at a 40% clip or greater. We'll create consistent delivery systems, but we're going to emphasize customer support and client retention to keep people for longer periods of time and advance into higher levels of our programming. Any questions on that so far?
No, man, just trying to take it all in, brother.
All good, man. Stop me if you have a question. Cool?
We'll do.
Awesome. Now, this is the program itself. There's going to be a total of 32 modules. Each module will have an overview link. It'll also be associated with videos. Both the overview link and the videos are tutorial style. So you'll know step by step exactly what to do. There's 0 guesswork in this, okay? First steps to becoming full-time, okay? We're going to give you specific strategies to lock in those first couple of people. The cool thing is the resources we provide are already done for you. So again, it maximizes efficiency. From there, we're going to move into the 10K Accelerator directory. I want you to view this as onboarding material that'll help you become a better student. It really shows you how to maximize the program to its fullest capacity. From there, we're going to move into the 10K roadmap. This will be broken down into 2 phases. What do we need to do to get from 0 to 5K? And then what do we need to do to get from 5 to 10? So again, tutorial style videos, written explanations, you'll always know what's expected. Now, based upon your specific goals and lifestyle, we want to create daily routines and habits to make sure that we're on pace. We'll also make sure that, we move past any mindset issues such as imposter syndrome, fear of failure, anxiety, you name it, we'll make sure that we can get past it. We've also identified the top 10 struggles that you'll face as a fitness entrepreneur, but we've also provided solutions for every one of these. From there, we're going to move into the administration systems and ChatGPT. This is really cool. Have you heard of ChatGPT?
Yeah, man.
Awesome. So as you know, it's like Google on steroids. We're going to make sure we maximize this to create SOPs, use it for content creation ideas, even for programming and nutrition as well. And then your backend systems will help you set up. So such as like Wave or Stripe for payments, DocuSign for client agreements, Typeform and Calendly to book calls and do applications with you. We also have applications you can utilize to load all of your programming, all of your nutrition into one spot for you. We're going to do the same thing for your financial systems. I believe you said you have some of this already set up, but you already have your LLC set up. I think you already have a business bank account set up as well, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so you're probably already aware of all this. So I'm going to skip over that. Then we're going to move into target setting. We're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. We're going to deep dive into your specific goals. From there, we're going to move into identifying your ideal challenge, as in what problem does your program solve for individuals? Based upon that, we'll create our pricing. So is this going to be a more do it for you, do it with you, or do it yourself type of program? The more that you do for individuals, the higher the ticket offer. That high ticket offer will be established upon your length of terms. So we'll help you come up with the structure of your pricing and even teach you how to create downsells and discounts when applicable. From there, we're going to move into the organic marketing. We're going to show you how to do 1 hour's worth of work, but get 14 different pieces of content created out of just that 1 hour. Okay. So again, maximizing your time, utilizing AI technology. We'll also identify other marketing strategies so we're not coming out of pocket. Everything's going to be mostly organic. From there, we're going to teach you how to do podcasts and YouTube. We want to expand your message to people. We want more people following you. We just want to, really get an idea of what you're all about. We'll also teach you how to market for all things Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So it's more than just randomly posting. Very specific strategies and resources that we implement for each one of these platforms. So all things Facebook as well, such as Reels, even down all the way down to the hashtag use, and then everyone's new favorite, TikTok. Okay, so how can we maximize TikTok to its fullest capacity? From there, we're going to move into content creation made easy. We're going to introduce you to Canva Pro, Canva Basic, and then also Microsoft Designer. Really kind of make your page more aesthetically pleasing, more organized, really good for branding and logo design. We want your social media kind of like a storefront. We want to encourage people to kind of look at what you got going on and want to really deep dive into what you're offering. From there, we're going to move into the 10K lead generation. We believe there's 3 different ways to do this. The first is earned media. I want you to think of this as like inbound marketing or people coming specifically to you. We're going to teach you how to set up a WhatsApp group, why it's important, and who we're going to target. And then that second phase of this, we're going to actually give you very specific strategies to bring more people specifically to you. So cross-pollination example of that, maybe you're partnering with another coach. Their audience gets to see who you are, your audience gets to see who they are. We're expanding our reach, we're gaining more traction. Free resources, you've probably seen this a million times. Click on here if you want the free workout, whatever. People love free stuff. It's a good way to get their personal information to be able to follow up with them. The one that I really like to highlight is a scholarship strategy. This will bring in a ton of business. Letting people know that you're going to be running an offer for a partial scholarship for your workouts will get people in the door. We even do call to actions as well. Now, the opposite of this is what we call conversation of calls. This is outbound marketing, or you reaching out to individuals first. We'll give you specific scripts. We're going to give you conversation of call examples, but more importantly, we're going to show you where to find all these leads on all 3 platforms, how to build and nurture these relationships, and really how to communicate with them. Now that we have all these people in, we're going to filter them through our WhatsApp group. So now we're going to make it to more of like an intimate one-on-one conversation. So hopefully they can communicate with other individuals that are already on your program, so they can really get a trust and get a sense of who you're really about. So by the time they get on that sales call, they feel like there's like a more of a relationship and there's more trust involved. From there, we're going to move in the referral strategy, the easiest way to grow your business. Friends, families, coworkers, talk about how amazing you are. We're going to give you resources and teach you how to incentivize people to bring you more referrals without actually having to ask. Okay? From there, the sales overview and fundamentals. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be great at sales. You got to learn to love it. We're going to give you some different resources to really maximize your sales capabilities, because we want to set up 2 types of phone calls. The first is a meet and greet. It's kind of like a screening call. It's a 10 to 15 minute phone call to figure out, do I really want to work with this person? Can I actually solve their problems? We'll give you confirmation processes and real-time examples with our coaches, which will lead us to our closing call. This is where we're trying to lock down that lead once and for all. We'll give you very specific scripts. We'll teach you how to create downsells and discounts. We'll give you our entire objection handling web. We'll teach you how to create financing options. This will be a game changer to get people in your door. And then more importantly, we'll make sure how to lock them down once and for all. Once we lock them down, we want to go back and track this. We want to track how many calls showed up, how many didn't, how many were booked, how many closed. We want to make sure there's predictable data every single month. So we'll give you resources on how to track that appropriately. From there, we move into objection handling. So again, the various excuses that you're going to hear time and time again. Okay. We give you over 30 different examples of what you will hear ongoing. Okay. So the more we can familiarize ourselves with these type of objections, the easier it is for us to close down these leads. And it kind of expresses them why it's so important to join your program. From there, we have the client onboarding process. This is probably the most overlooked area by trainers and coaches. This is someone's first 30 days in your program. This will make or break if someone wants to continue working with you. Okay. We want to make sure this is really special. It's very unique. We want to make sure we have standards and expectations set, but more importantly, we want to deliver something tangible in their hands within that first 24 to 48 hours while you're building out their program. Okay. Keeping them excited. From there, we have client delivery. This is the fun stuff, the week-to-week process and how we deliver services. But we teach you how to do it more efficiently. How can we utilize ChatGPT to our benefit? You know, we can use this for resources and to create workouts and nutritional guidelines. We'll also kind of tell you really how many clients you can effectively manage on your own. If you're a one-man show, you can expect to average anywhere between 30 to 60 clients, depending on how organized you are. After that, we're going to start needing to bring on, you know, an assistant coach or something like that, which we'll go into the next phase. And no matter how good of a coach you are, this is going to happen to you, man. Someone's going to ghost you. Someone's going to quit. Someone's not going to listen. Happens all the time. Oftentimes, those for specific reasons. They want to feel like they're part of a larger community. They want to have fun. They want to talk. They want to talk shit about your leg days with somebody else that you train, right? They want to be engaged with others. Some of them also just want more one-on-one touch points outside of just your Facebook or Instagram. They want, they want to be able to text you through WhatsApp. Some of them want unique challenges, and some of them want to be incentivized to do what's already expected of them. Imagine that, right? So we'll give you resources and strategies to get them to execute at a higher standard. From there, we're going to move into client retention. We want to keep people for long periods of time. We want to advance into higher levels of our programming. So how do we do that? And then how do we track it? Okay. Quick recap, and we'll answer any questions you got. All right, the program itself is 4 months long. You'll have your customized game planning call with your coach. Then you're going to have a one-on-one coach the entire enrollment period. You'll also have a private one-on-one sales coach. You'll have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You'll have the Facebook community and CEO trainings, 5 times a week of group support calls, 24/5 tech support, and the business course curriculum. Is there anything you feel like we're missing here?
I don't think so.
Cool. How are we feeling? Do we like it? Do we love it? Do we hate it?
No, I mean, it seems like a lot of good information. Seems like a lot of it's in line with Mr. Alex Hormozy and what he does as well. Yeah. So all the things that you were going through, those were modules, right? Like online learning modules. What was that?
Yep. So everything that I was clicking on is like kind of like a precursor to like the actual module. So you click on it, you'll have like an overview link. So an example, let me actually click on one for you. Okay. Let's go to one, like for instance, I know that you said lead generation was your biggest struggle. So we'll go into, so for instance, sales. Okay. So we'll click on one of these. Okay. Human needs closing. Okay. So you'll have the video as well here. Okay. And then you'll have, let's go back here. Then you're going to ask how the overview document. So you click on this. And this will take in like written tutorial style. So you'll have all that same information. It's just
is all this expected to be completed within 4 months?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And I really wasn't counting how many modules there were, but 4 months, roughly, we'll say 120 days ish. Is that like a module a day? Is that multiple modules a day? Like, what does that look like from a scheduling, systematized perspective?
Yeah, the minimal that I'd want you to spend on, like the minimal amount just to get through it, 30 to 45 minutes a day. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the individuals that are out here crushing it, that are those top 10 percenters that are getting beyond the 6,500 or 8K, they got the 3 C's. They're coachable, they're committed, and they're consistent, right? So coachable, being able to take feedback, able to handle that constructive criticism and implement. Consistent means kind of like what you mentioned earlier, non-negotiables. You're doing this every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it. And committed, doing the things you don't want to do with the same energy that you do things that you're passionate about, right? If you know this is going to get you closer to your goal in literally in a matter of 4 months, I don't know. The only way that you fail is if you just don't do it, right? The cool thing too is you're having those one-on-one coaches. So let's just say you're crushing it with getting clients, but maybe DMing starts to become a bottleneck for you. Your coach will look over and that and like, Jake, you're killing it here and here, but let's really emphasize this and this. And here's a couple resources and strategies that I want you to implement for this next week or two. So they're going to kind of give you a guideline on to make sure you're staying on track. That's that level of accountability. The other cool thing is too, I used to use this a lot. A lot of people downplay it. The private Facebook group was phenomenal for me. So I used to have that thing open on my phone while I had my computer screen open. So it's a great opportunity for others who might be a little bit further along in the course than you are. Even master level students are on there. They're asking questions that you wouldn't think to ask. So the cool thing is eventually, those questions are going to come up, but now you already have the answers to them. I think one person the other day asked a question as to supplementation for someone on chemotherapy. Would have never thought to ask that. Like, it was insane. And then you get like not just one person answering, you get 4 or 5 different perspectives. So it's really cool because you get to see how other people's minds work, and you can start networking with individuals that are crushing it, right? But like I said, if you could dictate 10 to 20 hours per week, you're going to be totally fine. If you can dictate, like you said, 20 hours, which you're already doing, you're going to be in a dangerously great position, right? The cool thing is with you've already got multiple certifications, so you're not going to have to do certain things that other individuals have to that are like starting like brand new, right? So you'll be able to kind of get moving toward that business side of things. And you've already got some of the back-end systems done. Get your LLC, get your DBA, which is phenomenal. But now all the things that you have, we're just going to fine tune it a little bit and then start pushing you and emphasizing the areas that are your bottlenecks, right? So again, you got a good head start, which is phenomenal. So for another individual who hasn't got their LLC, back in the day, it'd take like, 2 to 3 weeks to file for all that to get it back. We're partnered with a company called an AI company called Taylor Brands. It can now be done within 2 to 3 hours. So it's a fraction of the time, virtually the same cost, but we also have it set up through a lawyer, so everything is legal. But you've already got a lot of that done. So that's an area that you would want to at least just push play to get through it, just to kind of see what we have. But you've already executed that. And this is one of those courses you execute as you go. It's not like you just do all the modules and then go back. You're going to a module, you're executing what it's telling you to do, then you move forward. So you're building as you're going, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So let me ask you this question. This is probably the big question. So with what I'm wanting to do and what I'm wanting to push, so it's I would say it's online fitness, right? But it's not just fitness, dude. It's like I said, it's a lot of mindset stuff as well. And that's going to be packaged into the product that I want to sell with some of the advertisement that I'm doing. So would you say that because I'm wanting to do both, it would be difficult? Would I be still a candidate for this type of program, or, is it for people who just are immersed in the fitness space alone?
Great question. You'd actually crush it with what you're offering, because that's going to separate you from 90 million other people that are just really passionate about fitness, right? So the fact that you're offering a mindset thing. So right now, when I had my wife come on board as like the life coach, it was sectioned up into 2 things. So like I had women and I had men, right? So they enjoyed my tough programming and my accountability, but they looked forward to the mindset calls, because if I have women clients, there's just certain things that women don't want to talk to me about because I'm not going to be able to really understand.
Yeah.
But my men are very prideful, and they don't like to kind of admit where they're struggling at to other men because they feel like it's a sign of weakness. But they get it. My wife gets it out, and they give them a game plan. I think I get just as many people excited about the life coaching than they do the actual working out. Because a lot of individuals, there's only a select few, honestly, that really want these like extreme athletic transformations. Most people just want to feel good. And part of just feeling good means having the right mindset around that. So for you to encompass both of that, man, you get to really expand your high ticket offer. So you crush it. We actually have a girl who is now a mindset coach with us. That's the majority of what she does. And she's phenomenal. She's actually our mindset coach for NLCA. She does weekly mindset calls. You will love her. And she's made her whole business based off of that premise, and a small piece of it as, the workout, the daily habits, the nutrition, things of that nature.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you said that, because I mean, my personal belief is that you can't really have one without the other. If you go on a fitness journey and your mind's not right, you're not going to sustain it over a long period of time. But on the flip side, if you're just working all on mindset, but you're not taking care of your body, you're not going to set yourself up for success in the long term. Now you can still make a lot of money and be successful, but you're going to be unhealthy while you're doing it. So I think there needs to be synergy between the two, which is why I've immersed myself in both. Like the fitness stuff is easy to me. But it's more or less the mindset and personal development stuff is what I think really impacts transformation in people's lives.
Oh, there's no doubt, 100%, because if you can get their mindset clear, you can say, hey, now that we've started moving this in the right direction, right? Now actually implementation of exercise and nutrition is going to help decrease anxiety, depression. You can kind of like sprinkle little facts about what the health side of the fitness side of things are going to do, right? But you're right, a large portion of it is just getting the mindset to like get moving, being consistent in the first place. And you got to meet them where they're currently at, right? I get a lot of calls where someone's like, I only want to work with people that are fully invested and they want to work out. I'm like, well, if that was the case, we wouldn't have a job, right? Like the whole point of coaching is to guide people who don't know how to do this on their own, or who have tried it on their own, but they've gained a perpetual cycle of up and down roller coaster. They're doing good for a while, they fall off. We want to make sure this is actually a lifestyle change and we meet them where they're at, not where we want them to be at.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. What other questions you got for me?
Man, that's really it off the top of my head. I think the biggest thing was just seeing what the coaching entailed and all of that type of stuff. So, and making sure that the mindset and the fitness, I'm still, would be a good candidate to do this program because of having that dual lane, we'll say, of kind of the path that I'm going down. So
yeah, the mindset thing is actually going to actually propel you completely past a lot of other individuals that only do macros, that only do weekly check-ins, right? Majority of coaches, they're going to do some type of macros. Some are going to do intuitive eating, right? Some are going to teach you how to build a healthy plate. They're going to have Zoom check-ins. They're going to have all these things. What are you going to have in your programs to completely separate yourself from other people? You just answered it. You're really good naturally at health and fitness. So it's like, yeah, we'll talk about this, but you said you've immersed yourself in the mindset spot. That's where people need the most help at. Look at the rates of suicide, depression, anxiety since COVID, right? So if we can get them in a really decent head spot, people will actually appreciate the mental transformation just as more, if not more, than the physical transformation, right? You can't have one, like you said, without the other, right? I'll actually show you here a testimonial of who our mindset coach is. I'm going to show you two different peoples of different end of the spectrums. Okay. So Charlotte, she's what I'd call a top 10%er. This is Charlotte. She was an in-person trainer making about 40K a year. She hated it. She wanted to get out of that thing bad. After 6 months, she contracted over 200K with us. She's now a CEO making 70K a month. Now, a little bit about Charlotte. She was a workhorse. She was willing to do whatever it took to transition completely out of in-person. Between her in-person and her doing this, she was spending like 70 to 80 hours a week. But within 6 weeks, she was already eligible for mastery level, which means she was crushing it. Now that's what I call a top 10%er. On the flip side, you'll have Karina. She's like a mom of 2 kids. She's only making 2K a month. Her goal was she didn't want a massive empire. She just wanted to travel and spend more time with her kiddos. First tattoo indicates when she started NLCA. Bottom tattoo indicates when she quit her job. After 6 months, she was averaging 10 to 12K months on a regular basis. She's now hitting 15K a month, and she works 35 hours a week, making really good money. Now, the mindset girl here is Lacey. Whoop. I guess they took her out of there. So Lacey was a mindset coach. The crazy story about her, she was a nurse, and she, during COVID, going through a nasty divorce with 2 kids. She had negative 8381 in her bank account. Like life was really hectic for her. She ended up taking out a personal loan, got very resourceful, joined our program. 6 months later, she went from negative 8381 to hitting 10K months on a consistent basis. She's a 6-figure earner. Now she has a whole team underneath her, and she's also on the weekly. She's our mindset coach. She does all our weekly mindset calls. Phenomenal. So
Awesome.
I think that you would get a huge kick out of her. And then just to kind of go by some client averages really quick. 73% of our students have their client in month 1. On average, it takes them just 1 week to do so. So again, a large chunk of people are seeing success right out the rip. Now, our main goal is for everyone to be getting their first couple clients within that first 2 to 2.5 months. But the average client right now is doing it in 1 week. Okay? This is a really big deal. It takes people just 10.6 weeks to go full-time on an online fitness business, right? So I'm thinking of you right now with your experience, with the level of ambition you have. Think about that, like literally under 90 days, and you could be doing what you really love is fulfilling. Other students who stay with us 12 months have 97 clients on their roster on average. Those individuals with 97 clients are averaging $366,000 per year. It's great money, doing what they love. Obviously, when you're at 97 clients, you'd be more in that mastery level, right? We'd be teaching you when to run ads. So we don't typically tell people to run ads until they're hitting a certain amount of money. We want to make sure there's consistent revenue coming in. So we'll teach you how to run ads, when to hire a DMer, how to lead leaders. So, you know, when to bring on an assistant coach, things of that nature. We're essentially trying to get you to step away from the day-to-day monotonous activities and have you focus more on like client delivery and marketing and things of that nature. That's where things get like go to the next level. Okay. And our students are rating the program a 4.5 out of 5 on average, which means they're getting massive results for their respectful businesses. Any questions on the averages?
No, that one stat's pretty hard for me to wrap my head around, and it is the, you know, taking 10.6 weeks to go full time. That seems crazy.
It is pretty difficult. So think about this. Now, would I say this would be ideal for someone that has 0 experience, 0 certifications? That is it possible? Yes, but are those individuals the one that are typically doing it? No. But for an individual such as yourself who has multiple certifications, and right now you have an LLC, you have some of these other things that other individuals don't have, that is very obtainable, right? Like 10.6 weeks, you know, again, just under 90 days, you could be doing this, especially if you're dictating about 20 hours per week. If that's what you said you had available, geez,
Yeah.
you'd be out here, you'd be smoking it, right? Like you've already got some really good daily routines, nightly routines, and the non-negotiable about waking up early at 5 a.m. even on Sunday. That's what a lot of people won't do. That's why there's averages, like, right? These are just the norm of what you can expect to be mediocre. So again, there's going to be a difference between the mediocrity and there's going to be a difference between great. Great means, yeah, I want to sleep in? I do, but I know that there's goals that I want to obtain and I'm not wanting to sleep on those goals. You have
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Now kind of moving forward, next we're going to talk about the investment portion. What's this thing going to cost us? But before we do, I didn't know if you got a chance to hear about our 3 times the investment guarantee.
Yeah. I think I've been doing some research on you guys, and I've watched Chad, some of his videos. So yeah, I'm aware of that.
Beautiful, because a lot of companies will have a money back guarantee. I have not ran into any company that says, hey, you'll make a specific amount or you'll get your money back, right? In order to do that, got to attend your game plan call, pretty standard. Got to attend all of your one-on-one coaching calls, which is only 2 per month, 1 group support call each week, run a scholarship in the first 90 days. That's only gonna get you a shit ton of clients anyways. Not have any late payments. Don't spend longer than 2 weeks on the optional certification, which you're not even gonna have to utilize anyways, and have no late payments. If you do all that, you show up, use the resources, and go through exactly as we're telling you how to do it, we're guaranteeing you'll 3 times what you put in, or you get 100% money back guarantee. Year to date, we've helped over 3,000 students. We've only had to return 1.6%. So a pretty good batting average.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd say so. Yeah.
All right, so there's going to be a payment plan, and then there'll be a paid in full option. Payment plan means we put down a down payment, we spread the rest out over 4 months. Paid in full just means we pay the whole thing up front. We save a significant amount of money. Now, no matter where you're currently at financially, if this is something that you truly feels in alignment with what you want and toward your future for you and your wife, finance is the easiest thing for me to work around. There's financing options, there's extended payment plans. I've got something for you essentially. Cool?
Cool.
All right, what's this thing going to cost us, right? We got a payment plan of $7,000. We got a paid in full option of $6,200. So the pay in full saves you $800. Out of those 2, which do you think would work best for you?
I mean, obviously, I'd want to save the $800, right? It's just coming up with the finances to be able to do it. So
Yeah, 100%. Majority of individuals will do a payment plan, right? 7,200, I don't care how you spend it, that's a lot of money, right? So kind of give you a basic of what the average individual would do if they do a payment plan. So average individual put down about 2,300. That takes that 7,000 down to 4,700. You divide that over 4 months, it's equivalent to 1,175 per month, which is you needing 3 to 5 clients, depending on what you're charging. Pretty reasonable. The reason they put that amount down is because they want to make sure that reoccurring amount isn't overwhelming or too much. Okay. Now, if you wanted to do the payment bowl, right, and you want to save the $800, but obviously 6,200 is a lot. The fact that you've already got so much done on your own, I'd be willing to do a one-off for you, which means I just cut that and turn that payment bowl into a payment plan. We just split it in half. Okay, so you put 3,100 down today. I give you 60 days to pay off that second 3,100. So that way you save $800 and you have time to build up your business. And then on top of that, you have the 3 times your investment guarantee as well. So essentially, whether you're doing payment plan, paid in full, you're investing 7,000, but you're getting a return amount of 21,000 if you just do the work.
got you. Yeah, it's something I'd have to talk more with my wife on, and really just process, to be honest with you. That's the biggest thing. You know, I'm someone who's very analytical, and I just need time to digest. You know, I don't make any emotional purchases or
Yeah.
decisions, right? I knew the number would probably be high going into this, so I'm not totally blown away when it comes to that or taken by surprise. It's just taking time to digest everything. And if that means I can't, you know, do the deal of 3,100 down and, you know, doing a payment plan on the other 31, that's fine with me, as long as I have time to kind of just process and get my head around it. So
No, man, I'm not going to take that away from you. At the end of the day, I want to make sure this is a perfect fit for you and your wife, right?
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I want to make sure that you guys feel 100% comfortable. I need you to be at least be 90% on board and allow our coaches to get you over that 10% hump. Okay. So let's take moving forward off the table. Okay. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. Now that you got to see everything, do you feel like this solves all of your challenges with marketing, sales, and lead generation?
I mean, I hope it will.
Well,
You know, the thing with me, so Bedros Keuilian says it best, like success loves speed. And here's the thing, man, and this is me being honest and not being arrogant or anything. I will figure the shit out on my own eventually, right? But success loves speed.
mhm.
And if I can make an investment to get me there quicker, then I want to do that, right? Knowing that good and well that I can figure it out over time. I mean, I've figured out a lot of shit since January, bro. When it comes to like business stuff and everything, but I know
Right.
that I still got a lot of ignorance debt to pay down, a lot, which is why having working with a business coach is very attractive to me. So it can kind of get me there quicker, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, 100%. You said it, you hit the nail on the head. Could you figure it out on your own? Yeah, probably could. But to find out each intricate, tiny detail to really make this sustainable and long lasting could take you several years versus a couple months, right?
Sure,
To really
I agree.
maximize your earning potential and get you to where
Yeah,
you really want to be a lot faster.
for
I love
sure.
that, man. Now, are you 100% convinced on your own abilities to execute as shown with the level of education and support we've been providing?
Without a shadow of a doubt, I can do it.
I kind of already knew that, man. I thought I'd just ask it anyways, man. So all this really comes down to, sounds like it's like a little bit of a financial thing, right? It needs to make sense for you and your wife, correct?
Yeah, finances and just like I said, just digesting everything, really, you know, thinking about it and digesting it and having the conversation with her. So
Yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this. As far as financing options or extended payment plans, what's our credit looking like? Good, bad, great, awesome. What's it look like?
good.
Are you like 600, 700s? Where are we at?
600, 700. Sure.
Cool.
Maybe a little over 7, but I think it's high 6s.
Cool. So what we could do, again, I'm totally respect that you don't want to move forward right now, but I think it'd be great for us to kind of figure out what cards we have to play with. So when you have that conversation with your wife, we have more statistical data. I know you mentioned you're an analytical guy. If we can kind of figure out all the things you actually got approved for and then make a more of an informed decision based upon that, would you be open to that?
Yeah, well, I mean, so where are you going with this? Like, what do you mean?
Yep. So I got a couple different options that'll help with deal with these payments. Okay. So obviously the ones I already mentioned, that the 3100s or the 6200 split PIF, that's available. Okay. Now I'm talking about other options to kind of help lower these payments. So we have a company called Fund My Contract, and what it allows us to do is we take that 7,000, but it breaks that 7,000 down into much smaller, more manageable payments. Now, the cool thing about this is, like, for instance, give you an example. A guy the other day got approved for like an 84-month loan. His monthly payment was 155 per month. Now, the cool thing is you can pay it off early, no penalties, and they're usually attached to a 6 or 12 month same as cash. So let's just say, for instance, you got a deal that says 6 months same as cash. The course itself is 4 months. We pay it off prior to that. There's zero interest. Okay.
So,
So again,
hold on. So you said if you pay it off within a year, zero interest?
correct.
Okay. You froze up on me, bro. Can you see me and hear me? You there, bro? Hey, man, you there?